Wow, I love this.
Yes.
I like it.
Oh man, that was fun to edit. So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Fear Fans podcast. I'm your host, Don Elmy. With me is Nick Millet, and here we have Nikki and Joe, and we are sure to have several others joining us soon. But as you just saw, we put up a new intro that all of us have worked on. Yeah, like I said, it was fun to edit. So tonight we're covering what has to be my third favorite zombie movie, and it is one of the more fun zombie movies. It has a touch of humor. It's like serious, but also with a touch of humor to it. And it's The Return of the Living Dead.
Classic movie, classic zombie film.
Oh yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I loved this movie when I first saw it as a teenager, and to this day, still love it.
There's just something so thrilling about Return of the Living Dead. It's really hard to describe. It's there's just something really awesome about it.
Oh yes, and it has it had a really good cast to pull it off with these lots of different each character has their own personality, and each actor and actress brought it to life incredibly. Oh here.
Oh, I got a Twitch viewer.
Oh, okay. Everyone's still on the road. Oh, okay. Here.
This was made or released in '85, right?
1985.
Yep. Hey, Leah, you.
And that explains those dudes. But I remember being in high school because.
Hey, Tom.
Hey,
Nickel Tom.
Hey, Tom. How's it going?
85 was my senior year. You had all those punk rocker types, but I never saw anybody have an earring go into his lip or his jaw or wherever it was attached by a chain.
Cracker.
What?
Did it sound like Joe said cracker?
No,
types?
I didn't.
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say I'm going to be very offended, man.
Those punk rock dudes with the earring that was attached to the jaw by a chain.
Yeah, that was a.
I saw a lot of freaky shit in '85, but I never saw that.
I did. Hell, even in the '90s, the goth were doing it.
You're not in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm in Philly.
I was just in Wisconsin, but anyway, this film had so much going for it. It was written by John Russo, who worked on the original Night of the Living Dead with George Romero. He wrote it. And also, this is also written by the actor that played Johnny in the original Night of the Living Dead. What was his name?
Oh, that was I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that well over 15 years ago now, I met the guy. I actually got a picture with him, and we didn't really talk about that movie because at that time that was when I was going to some of my first horror film cons. But at that time, I didn't really know that he actually wrote it. And the actor who plays Johnny Don is Russ Striner.
Russ Striner, yeah, I just found out. Yes,
yeah.
And I got to know one of the guys that helped out with the effects on Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. Hey, Jeremy.
Barry Anderson.
Barry Anderson. Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
He was actually on Dom and Tom's World.
Really?
Yeah, he was going to be a BB3 TV regular, but he decided against it. So it's all right.
Oh, and Billy's asking, speaking of Night of the Living Dead, would I cover the 1990 remake at some point? Yes, we definitely will. I've been thinking about it for a while now, but we will get to that. There's other movies to cover, but we're going to hit that
one. That one hurts my brain a little.
Which one?
Not the remake. Not the remake. The sequel.
The
Return of the Living Dead, because the two most annoying characters in the whole friggin' first one are alive again in the second one in the same.
I know.
Played by the same people. Yeah, played by Tom Matthews and James Karen. Yes.
I can't watch the movie to the end anymore because of them, because of their whining. It's just I want to reach through the screen and be like,
it seems like they whine most of the time throughout the second movie. It's like, are we supposed to feel bad for them, or are we supposed to laugh at them?
I can smell your brain.
Tom Matthews. I know him from this movie as well as where he played Tommy Jarvis in Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, a role that he also reprised in the fan film Never Hike Alone, which I saw on YouTube lately. But yeah, and also during the time when he was filming this, I believe he was still roommates with George Clooney. Yeah, apparently they're good friends.
Oh wow,
Interesting. I never knew that.
And let's see. And I also researched him, and apparently, like he was supposed to he you know that he wore an earring in that film. He actually got it for real,
Yeah, he did.
but then found out later they could have just given him a fake one. He was like, "Oh,
well, that's
You
no
know-
big deal. You take the earring and the hole closes up. Thank God that only happens with earring.
Well,
holes.
here's the other thing too. I should probably
Yep.
another thing that's definitely worth noted about Return of the Living. If any of you guys ever got that same feeling too, that there's even also kind of like a thriller vibe to it too, because if you think about it, just 2 years prior, 1980, or it was either 1982 or 83, saw the release of Thriller, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
there was. I think there was intentionally some scenes that were eerily similar.
yeah."
Yeah, there because it just had a very similar. I guess
Wasn't there a
it just
dude
had
that
very
came out of the manhole too in the movie?
Um,
don't believe
Like
so.
he did for
I was gonna
no?
say I don't think so, but still, there's just a very similar vibe to it. But it should also be worth noting. Eventually, they did pay homage to it in the second film, where you see a zombie being electrocuted and dressed up like Michael Jackson, and
That's
he
true.
was doing kind of the dance a little bit.
That's true. Yes, it was directed by John Landis, who also
Yes,
did
sure
my
was.
favorite.
Right.
Yep, he also directed my favorite werewolf movie, An American Werewolf in London.
Yep.
Love that one.
Did you ever watch The Making of Thriller? I think I've seen The Making of Thriller more
It's
than I
on
watched the
YouTube.
video.
I
I've
think
seen
the full documentary is on YouTube now.
I had it on videotape. I
nice.
watched it constantly. It was
I just
great.
saw it. I literally just saw it like yesterday. Like I was just happened to be going through. I think I was looking something up for one of my audiobooks, and as I was doing that, all of a sudden I don't know how I how I ended up there, but there was a picture of the VHS box of the Making of Thriller.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I should mention my favorite thing about this movie is just the zombies, because it introduced several new aspects that were not used before in zombie movies, like the zombies' ability to run, which was later used in like let's see, 28 Days Later, the Dawn of the Dead remake from 2004. Oh, and Zombieland.
Yeah, they're
And
so
also-
fast.
And it introduced the whole concept of zombies eating brains, solely
Right.
eating brains, and also zombies that you just can't kill by shooting in the head. Yeah,
The
these zombies,
pain.
these
Well-
zombies are like indestructible.
It's also, I think, probably one of the first, if I'm correct, too, where, and correct me if I'm wrong with this, too, Don. I think it was also one of the first where they other than Thriller, of course, where you actually saw zombies rise out of graves instead of just
Yes.
like a simple, like you look at a film like Night of the Living Dead, it was kind of like more of a disease, basically. It was, even though these people were dead, they weren't really like coming out of graves and stuff. They were just people that were recently infected. But
Right.
this was probably the first one in which you actually see them rise out of their graves. They have the classic, decaying, very skeletal look to them.
Especially the one.
They're literally walking corpses.
They are.
Especially that one in the beginning, the skeleton that came up and just kind of.
Oh yes,
Do
yeah, I
you
love
want to
that.
party?
Yeah, I
That's one
remember
of my
that.
favorite scenes out of the entire movie. The
Oh, I love
skeleton
the-
rise, the eyes open up.
Oh
It
yeah.
reminded me of the cover of The Evil Dead 2.
Oh, and
It
of
kind of
course,
did.
we got to mention
Oh yeah,
The Tar
my
Man.
Great.
my favorite.
Four braids.
Yep, that's my favorite zombie right there, Tarman. He's great. Yeah, so this is like the zombie from the in the very beginning where he was inside that barrel when they accidentally hit it and accidentally released that trioxin into the air and dissolved the body partially. Like, I don't know, I should mention the effect in the beginning where they melted like the wax off the body when the chemical got released, and then that glass broke. It broke because of the heat that they used to dissolve to melt the wax. It wasn't supposed to break.
Right now, looking
a
at him, he
guy.
just looks kind of goofy. Like he should be like.
It may look a little bit silly like now, but back then this terrified
No,
audience.
that was horrifying.
Oh yeah, and
It was.
the actor who played him, Alan Troutman, yeah, he's like a super thin guy. They had to like have a very thin actor to really make it believable, like all skeletal, like.
Have a very, very realistic appearance, practically.
Oh. Also, sorry, Nikki, I did not say it in the chat. Happy birthday.
But yeah, that's my favorite zombie of the whole movie.
But hopefully she heard that.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wait, zombies could run. Oh yes, that is true. Like zombies could run in some movies and games, but this is the film that started it.
Just got to go back to one comment here that Santi here says. Now this podcast became guys' night here, Nick. Looking to ready to hit the road for a bucket of chicken from KFC.
Yeah, Santi.
Yeah, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
I think he's really obsessed with KFC.
Well,
I never. Where did he come up with?
They do have the what is it? 12 secret herbs and spices.
Where
15 or whatever it is.
Pretty much.
Santi, where did you come up with that?
But,
You're saying like that's something that's always been a part of me. I never said it's pickles.
Here, let's see. There's also
she's having problems.
Yeah, she's having problems with
So she heard me.
Oh man. And also, Billy did mention that there's the actress Lena Quigley, who is like a scream queen, has been in like several different horror films, like other than this in the 80s, like such as Night of the Demons, and let's see.
That was the redhead, right?
Yes, and also Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yes,
one they couldn't keep her clothes on in the cemetery.
Yes, that's right.
My buddy Chaos actually got to meet her and talk to her, has her autograph and all that.
Well, if I could add to it too, I've met her too myself.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I actually we met her. It was back in 2011. She was at Flashback Weekend, as a matter of fact, Don. And they weren't showing that movie. She was there for the premiere of a documentary, which possibly at some point I'll show you guys, during the watch party. But she was actually involved in a documentary that was called Scream. Oh my God! Screaming in High Heels: The Rise and Fall of the Scream Queen. She was one of the one of the folks that was interviewed, and then right afterwards, that's when we got to see her. I was able to get a picture with her.
Oh, nice.
Did she have clothes on?
Yeah, she did. But you know what's funny is that when we saw her, and even my dad will say this too, because my dad got to meet her as well, was that I guess she's kind of a very social person nowadays. And it's like she kind of almost in a way latches onto you. It's like my dad, I remember years ago, my dad said, it's like, all right, that's not just kind of leave us alone. But you know what? I was enjoying that. We were getting her attention for some reason because I got to actually hang out and chat with her. But overall, very nice actress. She was really nice.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Blu-ray has showed? Oh no, it's not by Scream Factory. It's not. Yeah, like I have several Blu-rays that are from Scream Factory, but this was not one of them. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, there were several other characters that I liked in this, such as Bert, played by Clu Gulager, who I believe Gulager. I always have mispronounced his last name. Clu Gulager, who I've seen him not only in this but also in the Feast trilogy. He played the bartender in that, and he was also and also around this time when this movie was made, he also played Jesse's dad in Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
That might be where I know him from. I know I've seen him in other places.
Oh yeah, he's been in a lot of movies. Yeah, but let's see. And also there was that. There was another character, Ernie, who runs that funeral home.
The Weasel.
Oh my God!
We lost her. You know,
he's that little weasel guy.
Yep.
Oh, hey, Lauren. Good to see you here. Oh,
I was just waiting for Bert to hit the old man at one point. I was rooting for it, even as a kid. I'm like, just fucking deck him.
Yeah, I was wondering what that guy was that worked in the morgue.
That's who he was just talking about, the weasel-looking guy.
I was wondering what he was on. I mean, talk about a guy that was like extremely paranoid, and this is before the shit hit the fan.
And I've seen him in a lot of things too over the years, little bit parts here and there, TV shows and stuff.
Nikki just messaged me, and she said her internet just went out.
Oh man,
that sucks.
Well, hopefully she'll come back, but unfortunately, I guess we should have asked before if they were having storms over in that part of Australia.
Yeah,
I'll go over and look. Hang on.
Just want to answer, Lauren. I like to show you guys before we end for tonight. But yes, Lauren, I saw she just completed her next painting, which is of the Eiffel Tower. I loved it. Fantastic. I'd like to show it before we end the show tonight, like I always do with a lot of her paintings. So
Of course.
that way you guys can get a view of it yourselves.
All right.
There was a third movie.
She just said that. Yeah, it's her internet. She's going to try again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there were third movie. There's 5 movies of Return of the Living Dead.
I only remember 2.
No, they had a
There's
third
5
one.
of them.
There's a third one back in the 90s that was like it was very Shakespearean. It felt like a Romeo and Juliet sort of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was all right. To me, it was okay. I mean, I wasn't too crazy about it, but it was all right at least.
I first saw it on Sci-Fi Channel years ago when I was a kid, and also when I was a kid, that's where they also released the last 2 movies as a double feature: Return of the Living Dead Necropolis and Return of the Living Dead Rave to the Grave, and both of them were terrible.
That sounds familiar. Rave to the
Just
grave.
showed up. What's up, Irene?
Wow.
Yeah, they decided to have a rave in the cemetery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was there a redheaded chick that got naked?
That's what we were talking about.
There was actually
That was
3 of
Linnea
them that got
Quigley.
naked. No, I
No, I
don't-
mean in the 5th
I
one.
never saw it.
Oh no, I never seen it either.
I'm
Yeah,
just
don't
making
see it, it's
fun of
terrible.
I was making fun of the title.
yeah.
And I was running with it.
Necropolis and Rave to the Grave. Avoid those if you can. They're terrible.
I've
They
seen
had,
the trailer, but I've never seen the movies.
They had a. Oh, here they had also had featured the dad in from that in that movie. Yeah, and in both those films, they featured the dad from Walk to Remember.
Mm.
Yeah, he was in that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember his name. Peter Coyote or something. Yeah, I think that's his name, Peter Coyote.
See, another person that they were originally going to try to bring up. Oh, wait, hang on. I think someone else just. Oh, it's Nikki again. Here, she's
Oh,
back.
Nikki.
Oh, I know that guy. Peter Coyote. I know
Yes.
him.
Yes, yeah, he's in
He
Necropolis.
was in E.T. He was the officer dude in E.T.
Oh, really? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Mm.
He was the one that was trying to be friends with Elliot or whatever.
Right. Oh, here Billy's saying, Don, most sci-fi original movies are awful and terrible. Well, there's one exception.
Well, listen, they're better than
Shark?
Hallmark
Is it
movies.
Sharknado?
Ugh.
I had to
Should I
say.
go to the I don't know.
Hey Nick, I'm going to a place where my co-partner lives. Have you ever seen the movie Wrong Turn?
Yes. Yeah, I've seen.
We're
Wrong.
going to a place where it originates in
Really?
Kyushu Island. Yeah, it's a little village that's abandoned now. They didn't like the rules and policing of the police department, so they made their own rules and they killed whoever they felt like killing.
Man.
Wow.
Killers usually do.
And it's haunted.
Wow.
Okay, this I'd like to hear more about when you guys head out there to
Oh,
investigate.
shit.
Yeah, it's in the little. My husband knows of it when he was growing up as a kid.
Wow,
It's called Inunaki Village. It's called
that's
the Howling Village,
you know.
and they have a
No, go ahead,
tunnel.
go ahead.
They have a tunnel that is all blocked off now, but the tunnel's also haunted.
Oh,
You know what we should do? This is just in a future idea episode now for you, Don. You know, for Fear fans, is considering that Irene, you're going to the place where this idea originated from.
Mhm.
We got to eventually do like a Wrong Turn episode in the future.
Yeah.
we got you.
Actually, my friends are coming in October, and we're all gonna take a road trip.
Oh, nice.
Actually, we have to fly there because I'm not taking no bullet train because I'm not paying no $700 for a bullet train. Anyways, we're flying there, and then we're gonna. Amanda lives on base, right? In that island, so we're gonna probably find a B&B, stay there tonight, and take a road trip to there. And my husband's gonna be driving there because he knows where it is.
Okay.
Just make sure it's a B&B and not an S&M because that'll be a totally different experience.
Oh my God.
Oh, you know what? They got them too. They got those love hotels too in Japan. They got mirrors on the ceiling. They got beds.
Oh my
There's cards. And they got vending machines. They got vending machines that sells condoms.
Okay.
And they got
Okay.
toys and everything.
Okay. All right.
She got all excited.
Learn
Okay,
something new every day.
Yeah. You do know that kids watch this show, right?
Hey, I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything bad.
Well, as long as your YouTube is not marked just for kids, then you're okay.
Yeah, but nah,
Which if
they
it
got
was,
all kinds
nobody
of
would be
fun
commenting.
things.
So
Oh man, this is Japan. You know that it's everything for everybody, including guys who. Never mind.
okay.
All right.
So, yeah, we're gonna stop you there.
Okay, that's what I said. Whatever. All right.
Yeah, so
And Nick is laughing his guts out. Right.
Yeah, so Rain, tonight we're covering one of the real favorite of mine, The Return of the Living Dead, and
Ooh.
yes, and yeah, this was like really like I feel like this was like pretty underrated, like at first, but then over the years I've noticed that more and more people are starting to love it, and that makes me thrilled because. Yeah, like this had a lot going for it. It introduced like a type of zombie that no one ever saw before in film. Where where you can't kill them by destroying the brain, and dismembering them does nothing. Because the only way you can stop them is by burning them. But even that makes the situation worse because they're infected with this chemical that, if it gets into the clouds, creates a chemical rain. That if it hits a cemetery, it brings back more bodies.
You know what? That's what they think. What happened to the cryptids in Japan after the atomic bomb?
I see.
Because they think the radiation did something to the cryptids, and we had our own version of Bigfoot, right? But they lived in Hiroshima, and they lived in the mountains. But you know what? They're saying what happened to this cryptid in the mountains after the atomic bomb.
Oh, yeah. Well, this the chemical that's in this film is like is based on something that was used in war. There was a fictional company in this film called the Darrow Chemical Company, which is actually a reference to the Dow Chemical Company that was responsible for creating Agent Orange, which was used in the Vietnam War. I know,
right?
And I know about it because I have relatives who did serve during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words,
obviously they couldn't use the name Dow Chemical Company for legal reasons.
What's interesting though, they changed the numbers on it because the real poison, I guess, was called 135 trioxon or something like that.
It was in the movie it's 245 trioxin. I believe it's a
that's what I was about to say. In real life it's 135, but in the movie it's 245 trioxon.
Oh yeah, of course they had to change the name
and numbers.
Yeah, but you know what? I bet you, if you look at real life and you look at what happened back then, what do you know, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, for sure. And so let's see. I wanted to think about who else was in this. Oh yeah, there was the two from my best friends in this movie named Bert and Ernie. I'm pretty sure we've heard that somewhere before.
Hey, Bert.
I have never heard of anybody referencing about like those two names. Like they've done that. There was another movie that did use those same names too. The Christmas film "It's a Wonderful Life." Those guys' names are Bert and Ernie.
Yeah, that's right. wait, "It's a Wonderful Life." Is that before Sesame Street?
Oh yeah, that was
Sesame Street was
that was before Sesame Street. Yeah, and also I like how Ernie is played by Don Calfa, who I believe he played that assassin in Weekend and Bernie's. I think it's the same guy.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Let's see. So we talked about Lena Quigley, the Scream Queen, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and let's see, Night of the Demons. Oh yeah, let's see, two other ones that I'm familiar with because of Friday the 13th Part 5. It was Miguel A. Nunez who played Spider, and let's see, Mark Venturini, I believe his name is. He played Suicide. He played that the serious punk kid who was like out throwing all those fits. He was always getting mad about something, but
and kind of have to give. Oh, I love that.
I actually looked him up recently, and apparently he died of leukemia back in 1996.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, about over 10 years later. Another thing that should be worth bringing up too, Don, which I don't know, you probably know this yourself, that because this was in some way intended to be somewhat of like a sequel to Night of the Living Dead, they originally wanted George A. Romero to direct this film.
Yeah.
But considering this was also the same year when he was writing Day of the Dead, that's probably the reason why he couldn't do it. But more importantly, it was apparently said that they tried getting a hold of him and they just couldn't reach him. So unfortunately, they had to do this movie without him.
Oh, Tom, look at his background.
I know. He's been changed. background
It's
from
the
different.
half girl zombie from, and you're like in the end, the one that killed Scuzz.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I love the animatronic effect for that one. That was great.
Yeah, the little tail wagging.
Yeah, well, it was the spine. It was the
Yeah.
spine, like where the spine was severed. Like it was the spine was going back and forth,
brains,
and also like the spinal fluid that was leaking out. That was a nice touch.
Yeah.
To make it look like an actual living corpse.
For sure. And I wanted to mention that character like Suicide. I did mention how he just came off as a real punk, always getting mad about something. But here, let me just mute everybody for this bit right here. Hang on. You'll see why in a sec. Okay. So like Suicide, he was always a punk, but in the end he led the charge to go save Tina downstairs in that warehouse. And he led the charge, but ended up getting killed by the Tar Man, like being the first and only victim of the Tar Man. And so he learned the hard way that sometimes in these horror films, that saving your friends can often prove to be a suicide mission. Oh man!
Oh boy!
I had to.
Hey, Amanda's in the chat.
Hey, dear.
Hey,
But you're
Happy birthday, Nikki.
a very bad idea.
oh man!
Right, Amanda.
That's right.
Oh, and I got another one here saying hi.
Oh, there you go.
Hi, Lauren.
Poor baby saying hi, huh? Just talking.
Testing my limits to not say things that might be considered offensive.
Right.
There's
Bleep.
other names for kitties.
Oh yeah. Like,
Good choice for my puppy.
Where's your puppy?
Oh man. But
Bleep.
It'd be pretty loud if she was in here right now.
Yeah, I heard her earlier.
Yep.
Little
And
bit.
Nick, I should mention there's only one person in this film that I absolutely hate. I'm not talking about a character. I'm talking about the actor. And you probably know where I'm going with this, right? Yeah, there's an actor who is in this film who played Scuzz. His name is Brian Peck. And so he started in this film, but then later became like an acting coach for Nickelodeon. And they went over this in a recent documentary. Like I've known about this for years, but they revealed who his victim was. They released it in this documentary from HBO Max that was called "Quiet on the Set: The Dark Side of Kids TV." And Brian Peck was victimizing Drake Bell.
What?
Yeah.
I
didn't realize. It's like I knew he did something, but I didn't know who he was doing that too. So yeah, now I'm absolutely sure that I dislike the guy with a passion.
Now I understand why I'm just going to say that now I understand why Drake Bell went down the path he did himself, because he was a victim himself for that.
Yeah, and that documentary alone just struck a heavy blow to my childhood, because I loved Nickelodeon as a kid. I loved, all that. I loved Drake and Josh. I loved SpongeBob. I loved all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that dude that played Spider was pretty cool, though. I liked him.
Oh yeah,
I saw him in a ton of things.
Oh yeah, that was him. Yeah. Oh yeah, Scott's real name Brian Peck.
He was in one of the Halloween movies, wasn't he?
He was in Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
He was in the Friday 13 Part 5.
Yeah, where they were in the barn and shit. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was a van.
He was off.
They were in a van, but they ended up in a barn at one point.
Yeah. No, he was offed by not Jason in the in a bathroom stall.
And before you say it, Tom, no, it was not in a van down by the river.
But another just added. I mean, that movie just added another reason why I hate public bathrooms.
Yeah,
because you never know, you might get killed by not Jason.
Yeah,
or you might get haunted by a woman in the bathroom saying, "Come here."
I like what Braxton here said. He was the stereotypical old school 1980s punk. By the way, I'm goth, punk, rocker, and yes, I'm a brother too. Is up.
Nice.
Yes, there's black goths, etc. out there. We've been out here. You feel me? Yes. And you know what? That's another thing too about with a movie like Return of the Living Dead, is that although not hugely, but in a way, it's probably also one of the first where it's kind of at least partially a diverse group of punksters.
Oh yeah, it is. Everyone had their own thing. Like like Suicide was like the angry one. Let's see, Trash was the one obsessed with death, and and actually predicted her own death, saying,
Yep.
"Oh, I fantasized about being eaten by old men, but ended up being eaten by old corpses." Yeah. So
yeah, well,
let's see.
not in the way she wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
And who else? Let's see. Oh yeah, Tina was like the pure innocent one. Yeah, she was like the least punk of them all.
Yep.
And let's see who else. Oh yeah, Casey was the party girl. So everyone, I just loved how each individual like just was their own thing.
Yeah. They were their own. It was literally just like their own character in a way. I mean, they were still punk kids, but at the same time, they were still their own. They had their own separate personalities, if it makes sense.
They were a bunch of misfits hanging out together.
Yeah.
In a junked up car that Suicide had broken all the windows to.
Hey, well, you know,
Right.
it still moved.
That was a bad move when the rain came down, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I like how the cemetery was called Resurrection Cemetery.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was kind of cool.
And it wasn't even a real cemetery.
Well, actually, it is for us. We actually do have a resurrection cemetery.
Well, yeah, but I
It's
mean
not justice.
that location, it's just there's nothing there. It was just a field at the time, really.
Yeah.
Because I saw somebody, and I think I mentioned this before on one of the shows. I saw somebody did like a real filming locations and stuff of the movie, and it was pretty cool. You see the building and everything, and you see where the cemetery is supposed to be, and there's nothing there. It's just a fence, and it's like weeds.
Right.
Yeah, I like how they just did their very best with locations with their limited budget of about $4 million. And because this film was largely set in 3 spots. There was the medical supply warehouse where the whole thing began, and there was the Resurrection Cemetery and the Resurrection Funeral Home.
Right.
And I should mention the character Ernie. I feel like he was I believe he was originally written into the film as like a Nazi who was on the run. There are several clues to this, because right at the start of it, you hear he's standing there with a Walkman, like listening to this march music. I believe it was from Nazi times, and also how he works with a crematorium, and also the gun that he uses. The gun that he uses, I looked it up. It's a Walther P30. It was a Walther. It was a German-based weapon.
German gun.
Yeah. So, and also his last name is Kaltenberner. Yeah, that's a German name. So,
Bert, I'm on the run, Bert.
Yep.
Well, when he looked out at the rain and the storm, he said something in German as well.
He did. That's right. Yeah, that's glad you mentioned that. Yeah, because
I'm actually looking for something that I think you're gonna like seeing. It's involving Return of the Living Dead. If I could find it, that is. Man, where the hell was it?
Got to represent, Senti.
I like that.
Yeah, I got it last year. I went to a game with my dad.
Is that a plastic cup or like one of those wax?
Plastic.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it looks like one of those like disposable wax like type paper cup.
Yep.
Did you just give me the finger?
What? No, I was moving. I was moving my fingers around to show like the Cubs logo. I realized I was moving my fingers because I realized I was covering it up. So
I know. I just.
Oh.
Yeah, you know what
I do.
You should know.
Like I would care if somebody gave me the finger.
Hey, Tom, you know I'm more respectful than that.
Be like, man, is that an offer?
I'd give him the finger just for the help. I'd give him the finger and say, "Birdie."
And then Joe, I'd give him the whole fist. You know, just
Oh my God.
right.
This movie is great. Yes, it is, Jeff. I love it. I like I said before to these guys, I consider it my third favorite zombie movie. So as far as zombie movies, here's one thing I wanted to ask you guys. What are your top 5 favorite zombie movies?
Oh, jeez. These top 5s.
Oh, geez.
Just 5. I'm not asking like top 20.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I mean, this is definitely one of them. I don't know if it might be the top one, only because it's like one of the first ones I came across on my own on cable when I was younger. Trying to think. Well, I mean, I definitely like the what's it called with the Woody Harrelson and
Zombieland.
Yeah, they were good.
Zombieland.
They were. I like them. They were pretty funny.
Oh yeah. I mean, for me, my top 5 are Dawn of the Dead, the original, Night of the Living Dead, the original, Return of the Living Dead, and let's see. Oh yeah, Dead Alive and Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead was great.
Oh yeah, I love Shaun of the Dead. It's
You got
hilarious.
red on you.
You got red on you. We're going to the Winchester.
That scene where they were beating the hell out of the guy that owned the bar with the sticks with the
Oh,
four sticks,
I love that
and
scene.
Queen is
I
playing.
love that.
Queen.
That's oh here, good
That's
choice.
one of my favorite
hey.
moments.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, Kate.
How
Hey,
are
what's
you
up,
guys?
Kate?
Look at that. We
Hi.
start
Great.
talking about an English zombie comedy movie, and then who
and
shows
Kate
up?
shows up.
Here I am.
Yeah, we were just talking about Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, yes. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it so much. Have you covered that already?
Not yet,
Not
but we
yet.
will. We will. We were just talking about our top 5 favorite zombie movies, and I brought up Shaun of the Dead. So
Number 1. Shaun of the Dead is number 1 for me. 100%.
Yeah, it's in there definitely.
Very good. Hi, Lauren.
let's see. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
good. Here we
well-
go. Good choices, Jeff.
So I found what I was looking for, but while I'm trying to think of my countdown, I wanted to show what I found on Return of the
Braxton.
So here's what I found, Don. I think you're gonna like hearing the and you know what's funny? What I'm about to bring up is actually where I originally discovered Return of the Living Dead several years ago. There was I don't know if any of you guys would have known about this website. Maybe might not even you may not even know about it either, Don. There was a website, there was a horror film website, which is still in operation to this day, which is called Dark Angels Realm of Horrors. It was actually created in the late 90s. And the website is still great, but in my opinion, in the early 2000s, it was better because it was one of those websites, like each page you went to, there would be like a horror film theme playing like on that respective horror page. And they would have like trailers of, you have to remember, this was like really before YouTube really took over. They would have like these real player links where you could watch the trailers and if you were lucky enough, see some of the clips in the movies. But what I loved about the website is that although it's no longer the same as what it used to be, they have, however, kept the original poster, and this is what they decided to use. Check this out.
Oh, nice. I've seen that one.
Back in
Yeah,
the
they-
90s, it was all programmed in HTML and JavaScript.
Yep.
Or-
Oh,
yeah, it's
I
also-
know those languages.
Me too. They're obsolete now.
I
and
know.
obviously,
It's
and
not.
obviously,
Oh,
as
man.
you guys can see, it was also a UK-based website, so they could, it was probably at that time one of the first horror websites, involved in the UK at that time, and it actually was created on Friday the 13th in 1999.
You see,
Well,
all
the
the
step-
best stuff comes from the UK, you
There
know.
you go.
Well, and I actually contacted the owner of the website a few years ago because I said,
Good choice.
this is a website that I remember seeing from my childhood a lot, including Return of the Living Dead. But I had to ask him, say, whatever happened to all that music you guys used to play on the website? He said the problem was, the reason why he doesn't have it playing on his site anymore is that it was because the music became a distraction. People sometimes just went onto the website just to hear the music instead of actually reading, because it's also like a review site too, like where these guys gave their reviews about these movies, including Return of the Living Dead, and I had to ask them, saying, do you have those versions of those horror film themes, because you can't find them on YouTube. Unfortunately, he said he lost most of them, so you can't get these copies. I mean, literally, essentially, they've been lost to time practically. But it used, and if you go to Internet Archive, that won't do any good either. It's because they had them saved at one point, but even then, you still can't hear this really cool style music that used to play. They even had they actually have a one page that's dedicated to all actors that's played different horror movies and stuff. And what's cool about that one, Don, they have like a it was like an 8-bit version of Don't Fear the Reaper that would play on that website.
Oh,
Can't find it now
Need
either.
more
It's like,
cowbell. But technically, Braxton is Resident Evil really a zombie movie? It's not really zombie.
Resident Evil. Well, it has zombies
It's-
in it.
But there were more like mutations than they were. Zombies, right?
yeah. But the zombies were a common enemy in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll count it.
Okay.
Joe, Amanda wants to steal your hat.
Sorry.
Well, you don't want mine? Mine's pretty snazzy. Yeah.
I like your hat,
Come on.
It says this is Tom's world.
Yeah.
It's right here.
you done.
Oh man,
It's a famous YouTuber, you know. He's got over 2,000 subscribers, you know.
That's right.
oh yeah,
I'm at 2012.
2012. Oh nice.
Yeah.
Big
And,
deal.
And also, I wanted to talk about a little bit of the effects in this because I like some of the tricks that they use that to make some things believable. You remember how after they cut up the cadaver zombie, they've had to put him in bags, they brought over to Ernie, and to really make those to make all those bags move. What they did was actually pretty brilliant.
Put
Those
cats in there.
no, what they did is actually really clever. Those toy monkeys that have the symbols that you wind up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what they did was they took the symbols off and then wound those up and put them in the bags.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Oh wow.
that's a smart.
See, if they had that cat toy out, like the one that's the ball with the little ferret thing on it and it just spins around all over the place. If they had them out, then they could have used that, but they weren't out yet at that point.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and yeah, I just love how they when they opened up one of the bags to show Ernie, the arm just falls out and then just grabs his leg.
Get it off! Get it off! Get it off!
See, I thought originally, when that arm's coming out, I actually first assumed it was probably really one of the actors just doing that, covered with a yellow glove or something.
At first, yes.
You just knew when you saw that half dog that it was going to come to life. That dog, that medical dog
Yeah.
or whatever, that was
Split
cut in
dog.
half. I was like, oh man, no, don't do it.
And those insects, the butterflies came to
Oh,
It wasn't just the zombies, butterflies and stuff came to life.
Butterflies just eating your brain.
Yeah, man. And also the split dogs, I felt very sorry for because they were the ones who I felt like suffered the most. It's
I felt really sorry for them too.
and the fact that he was also trying to beat it to death. Oh my god.
I know, and he kept yelping.
Yeah.
Hey, but in the end, they burned everything, so at least they were probably put out of their misery.
Yeah, cremation.
Yeah, but all the cremation did was make more come.
Yeah.
More of
I
the
like
dioxin,
that.
yes.
I really like that scene where it showed the smoke coming, that chemical smoke coming out of the building, then getting into the clouds, creating that rain which hit the cemetery, and also landing on those kids, and then from that point on, Lena Quigley was having a real hard time because she had to stay like that, stay nude throughout the rest of the movie, and having to deal with that rain. And I remember that one point where they were going back to the cemetery, and that's when the corpses started rising up. They all got separated running, and then she was stuck saying, "Wait, guys, I got no shoes." And I'm thinking, and whose fault is that?
Right?
That'd be me.
Send more cops.
And then
Yeah.
she gets killed. And I love how she looked as a zombie.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
Had a very pale, almost ghostly look to her.
Let me see if I can find a picture that I can use.
Yeah, I was gonna say, be careful, Don.
I
You don't want to get us
Demonetized.
dinged for sure.
No.
As long as you have the filter on Google, you'll be all right.
Considering that was 1985, I wanna make a comment because I watched that movie twice. Once yesterday, once today. And when they were in the cemetery and she was taking her clothes off, I think they did something to cover the front of her below the waist.
They did. They
Because
I could swear you saw it.
her
It
ass was totally bare, her chest was totally bare, but when it did do it looked like kind of like the trick that they used for what's the one from X-Men.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mystique.
Mystique. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
did use
they
that.
did something to make it look skin colored and covered her up down there.
But they made it look like there was hair too, didn't they? I could swear it
No.
was like
Nope.
there, and it was
if you look
red.
at it right, it's all covered up.
Okay.
Because I was wondering, because in a
Oh,
horror
yes.
movie,
This is the best I could find. Yeah, like there she is, like with the red hair, and skin is like pale. She had like skin of a vampire or something. Like,
That's what I said. She has a
Yeah.
very ghostly look to her.
She turned into Beetlejuice.
that's right. She works for me now.
That's my girl. You know,
You know,
whatever.
when I
my girl.
wake up with that,
redheaded Beetlejuice.
Yep, there's the new Beetlejuice. I can't wait for. Yep, the juice.
oh, I love Beetlejuice.
I'm gonna make you so happy.
Oh yes, and Braxton makes a good point. Songs for the film.
Yes.
The Flames. SSQ Tonight. That's one of my favorites. Jack Black.
Did Irene just fall? Oh, it was Nikki.
Wonder Will,
Never mind.
we love them. Got them in my phone. That's awesome, Braxton.
It straight up looked like you fell straight down, Nikki. I thought I was like, did she pass out? What happened?
Oh man, but yeah, like they, yeah, I like the punk rock soundtrack for this movie. Yeah, they did an amazing job. They were apparently those were all local bands too. Like when they were filming this in LA.
Wow.
Yeah, they with SSQ, I think they actually just recently, well, maybe not very recently, but I think about over 10 years ago, I think they made like a remake of their song Tonight.
Oh, like a remastered.
A remastered version. I really don't know. I really am not sure. There's a really cool music video that they did that really paid homage to Return to Living. I wish I could play it on the show here, but as with copyright, I just can't. But
Right.
it's a really cool remix that they made.
I'll have to look that up.
I'll send you the link.
Oh yeah. Oh, and I also wanted to play this from earlier because of we were talking about my favorite zombie, the Tarman, and
Yes.
I went to show a little bit of behind the scenes on that. We should be a fine show on this.
Yeah, it's not the movie.
Yeah. Hang on. As soon as this stupid ad goes away, come on.
I would say I hate ads, but you know what? I love them.
You need
I
to have your,
absolutely love them.
you know what? You need to make your own ad, Tom, for This Is Tom's World, and just occasionally pop up on YouTube to our annoyance.
You just have the
As-
video just come to a sudden stop, and then all of a sudden I just
The beer on it. Say, hey, you know,
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
for the boys.
Here it is.
The clearest memory I have of the audition process was Dan telling me specifically that he wanted to see this zombie character thinking.
I always insist on all my creature suits, never cast a stuntman, always cast an actor.
I was a puppeteer at the time, but my training was as an actor, and I had done work as an actor also. So I went in and met with the casting director, and then it was a callback for Dan.
We needed someone as slender as possible, where there would be room to build up on certain areas and then show indentations or emaciated areas elsewhere.
Because of his ability to move in such a way that it looks like his bones are not connected to each other. He was just phenomenal. He brought that suit to life.
You know, I didn't ever plan too much or choreograph for Tarman.
I've never seen that piece of footage before.
I love what he did at the end. That was great.
You know what's funny is among one of the guys who said that they needed to make this like character, you know, kind of basically put to life. The third guy that we saw, I've actually seen him before. Not only because of other movies that he's done, he's actually been. Maybe you guys may have seen it. He's actually been on an episode or two of the show Monster Quest on the History Channel.
Oh,
Because he actually, I don't remember what episode it was. I think it might have been one of the episodes on Bigfoot or something like that. I'm not sure, but he was basically known to remodel this up. We just lost Nikki again from connection.
oh man.
Oh,
So-
he did the reenact. You're saying he did all the reenactments?
No, he basically was able to kind of make like molds of like certain types of, you know, I think again, it's been years since I've seen the episode, but it was on one or two of the cryptid episodes. It might have been on Bigfoot, but he still does this kind of stuff to this day, not just with films, but also kind of in the paranormal cryptid field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love that show though, Monster Quest.
Good show.
I saw it years ago. Yeah,
I'll have to find out what episodes that it was that he was on. I just can't remember what it was because again, it was several years ago I watched it.
Oh yeah, I hear you. Oh, and I also really like how the zombies get really creative. You know, in this film, because like it becomes first apparent when the tar man goes after Tina, and like she is hiding inside of a locker. She bars it up, and then the tar man comes across this hook man, this crane, like not crane mechanism, like a pulley kind of mechanism, and like hooks it on the door handles and just like is like sure and turning the wheel to like pull the doors open. And I'm like, wow, these zombies are smart. And later on,
smart zombies.
And later on, they strategize. Like after they kill the paramedics, like the original two paramedics, one of them sees the radio, like, and then just says,
"Send more cops."
Yep. Come in dispatch. Send more paramedics.
That was the second one when they said more paramedics.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, yeah.
Well, actually, it was right after when the first cops showed up to investigate the disappearance of paramedics.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then after they kill the cops, they say send more cops. And then when the whole bunch of cops arrive, like a whole line of cars show up, they're like going down this path. Both sides of the path have bushes, right? Down the path, there's a cop that's zombified, but they don't know it, who is just like waving this light back and forth, telling them to stop. When they all get out of the cars, all the zombies in the bushes go after them. I'm like, whoa, that was strategy right there.
A little death trap.
Strategery.
Yeah, these zombies are clever.
Well, they should be. They're eating brains.
Geometry.
And oh my god.
Well, the other thing too that should be noted, since you brought up about, for example, the tar man who tries to get at Tina at first, it's also funny to think that despite being almost the weakest of the zombies in this movie, he's probably the most intelligent out of all of them because he's the only one that handles something single-handedly without the aid of other zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Oh man. Oh, and yes, I was trying to find that clip where it showed like the zombies attacking the backup paramedics, because I always love that one bit where when they go after the second paramedic who was running away, they just like football tackled him. Yeah. It seriously looked like a football tackle.
It kind of did.
I don't know. I know it's like it's like someone just was killed there, but then the way it just looks silly the way it was pulled off. Yeah. Well, man, if only I could find that. And
yeah, not sure if we're going to be able to, because it might be part of a larger clip.
Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Man, if only I could check this out. But anyway, yeah, like the zombies in this are like nothing you would expect. Yeah, like they're not. It's like they're nearly indestructible. The only way to stop them is to burn them in this movie. But then you'll find out in the second one you could just electrocute them, and then that kills them.
Right.
Yeah. Like the second one took like a very different approach compared to this, because after the success of this one, Warner Brothers got a hold of the rights and decided they want to make a more kid-friendly zombie movie, like kind of like have a Goonies kind of a feel to it. But yeah, how wrong they were.
No.
But it backfired. What? What?
I didn't hear what she said.
How can you make a kid-friendly zombie movie? Like
Warner Brothers thought it was possible, but that backfired because they ended up getting an R rating.
They already did though. They made a kid-friendly zombie movie, Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Oh, and we reviewed it.
That's true. Oh, here, Shadowheart says, I have to say, the zombies in this movie are some of the most terrifying since they're almost impossible to kill. Yes, that's what we were discussing. How if you burn them, that makes the situation worse because it creates chemical rain, hits cemetery, and brings them all back again.
Like telling Scoob, it's a tar man.
Oh my god!
That was perfect.
I can just imagine that once you said that. I love it.
Oh god.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, as the series went on, it went to crazy directions. They wanted to make a kid-friendly sequel, then they made a Shakespearean sequel, and then 2 terrible sci-fi sequels.
It went downhill from there. In other words,
Pretty much. The only, it's like the second one is like the complete opposite of the first one. Like this has a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Return of the Living Dead Part 2 has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
wow.
God, just a mental picture came in my head of Shaggy being turned into a zombie and getting like 3 heads together and unhinging his jaw and eating all the brains at once.
How about
My brains.
Hey, real quick. Guys,
Oh my god! Oh, he's got
Guys,
some munchies.
Don, if you don't mind, because I just got a message from Lauren. She's actually she's gonna be heading out to go to sleep. Do you mind if I show that painting that she made right now?
Yes, please.
So here's for you guys that has here is the latest she made.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh, nice. That's awesome, Lauren.
I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm glad you guys are. Oh, Derek. Okay, for some reason, it wasn't showing up on my end. Now it
Oh,
just
we saw
did.
it right away.
Yeah,
I'm here.
That's odd.
yeah. StreamYard. I don't know what's been going on with StreamYard. It's been doing that, but yeah, it wasn't visible from my side, but now it is. But that's seriously, that is
Like Zoink's invisible.
that's a painting.
Oh man.
She never fails to impress me. She never does.
That's pretty.
It is.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that.
amazing. Really well done. Is it painted? It's paint, isn't it?
I
Yeah.
believe
Wow.
so. Hopefully. Yeah, she says she might have to just wait a minute or so, but most likely she'll respond to that.
Okay.
Yeah, very cool painting though.
Oh yeah, it's great. Oh here, the Tarman zombie is one of the most iconic since the actor can do the walk like he did for the movie. Yes,
Still do the walk.
Yes, that's true. And we were just showing some behind the scenes footage of when they talked about how he performed as the Tarman and was like just doing this little dance like behind the scene.
And to answer your question, Kate, yeah, she says it is a painting.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing. Really, really
Thank you.
well done.
Oh, you're very welcome, Laurie. And
When I read Shadowheart comment where he said the Tarman zombie, I read it wrong and I thought it said the Tarzan zombie. And I was like, wait, what?
That would have been a different movie altogether.
A
I
very
remember
different
that.
very different movie. The Tarman.
If they ever
Zombies.
made something like that, that's a whole different story in itself.
Zombies swinging from vines.
Great
in
to have
the
a,
city.
to have a Tarzan zombie.
Good night, Lauren. Have a great night.
So yeah, just to remind everybody. Let me pull up that put up a picture again. Hold on.
Of the Tarzan zombie.
Of the Tarman zombie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, put up that picture of Tarman here as soon as I can find a real good one here. Hang on. I just had one just a minute ago. No, that's the Return of the Living Dead Part 2 Tarman, played by the same actor. You know, he reprised his role. But it looks different in the second one. He has like a nose in the second one.
Yeah, he does.
Could you replicate your background, Tom? Just
That's not the same.
I'm trying to
that's
figure
not
out
the
what-
Not
Tarman.
the same zombie, but it's from the same movie.
That's just a skeleton that pops up out of the.
you could
That'd
pull
be
the
great.
same face and face them, and then it would be like
Yeah.
symmetry.
Yep, The
symmetry.
Tarman. I know. I love it.
And you know what's
Ew.
funny is he was not even originally called the Tarman. It was just something that they added to the script because at one point Spider says, "This is our friend, the Tarman God."
No, he said another dead body. He said that's our friend, the Tarman got him.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, again, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but yeah,
But yeah, and also they call him Tarman, but that's actually it just looks like tar, but that's actually melted flesh.
yep. He just has it. It just looks to a point. It looks to a point where it almost looks like it's tar, in a way.
Yeah,
I bet
just
he
love-
smells fantastic.
I bet he does.
Oh yeah.
Just goes after everybody, says brains more. I love it in the like
More
when,
brain.
I love like right after when he kills Suicide, like the other everybody else is looking at him, and then Spider throws that can at him at Tarman.
Yeah.
Tarman just gets up, looks at them, and says, "More brains."
And what's
They're all running, and then they just board up the basement door.
even though he was very weak to like actually open the door itself.
Yeah.
And you know what's also, I'm sure you know this, Don, too. When it comes to the Tarman, not sure why, but there's like two different versions of Return of the Living Dead where his voice is different. There's one where he's got kind of like a faster kind of sound, which is used in the trailer. And then in the film itself, it's a much more deeper, almost guttural type of voice.
That's true. I researched it, and it's in the theatrical cut, where in the VHS cut, where these voices kind of lighter, kind of. But then they changed it when they converted it to DVD and forward. Blu-ray, 4K. Those they made it deeper because they thought it would be scarier that way.
Of course, some people still like the original, like sped up version of it because it just sounded so classic. Yeah.
Suicide was talking. He didn't give the Tarman. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, Tarman was quick to act on him. Oh man, yeah, but I like how later when Bert and the remaining kids face him again, and Bert just easily takes off his head with a bat.
Yeah, right.
His eyeballs fly out too. If you've never noticed,
I saw that too. Yeah, I noticed that too. And also, I always wondered why didn't Suicide come back to life after he was killed? Because he was the first one that was he was the first victim. So why didn't he come back as a zombie?
There's a good reason for it. It's because even though he was attacked by the Tarman, you have to remember these zombies were exposed to the trioxin gas. In this case, I guess the gas doesn't get spread like you see in other zombies movies. Like once you're bitten, you're infected. I guess that's the other thing too about this. It's one of the first zombie movies where, in spite of being attacked, they don't get infected and become zombies themselves. So again, in other words, he wasn't exposed to the gas, but Trash, on the other hand, and the cop that you mentioned. Oh, look who just showed up too.
Oh, let's see.
Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Sorry. Work set tonight. Sorry.
Talk about Return of the Living Dead.
I feel like it.
But I was saying though, yeah. So that's why some of these victims never turn into zombies because I guess it was a type of gas that can't be spread unless you're exposed to the acid rain. Right. That's why Trash became one.
Yeah. I can't get enough of you saying gas.
Wow.
I know. I love the way he says that.
Yeah. And but
oh my God, I didn't know what he was saying. I thought it was like a special word.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, I get it now, guys. That's pretty cool.
But Nick, one thing that I did notice looking back at the movie again is that that cadaver zombie, because we kept talking about people who were infected with the trioxin, and we know that the first people that were exposed to it were Frank and Freddy, who when they accidentally released it from the canister, but then. We see that the cadaver zombie, when he was when they let him out of the storage room so they could kill it, when that cadaver zombie cadaver zombie went straight after Bert, even though Frank and Freddy were closer to that door. Why didn't it go after them? Because it knew that they were infected.
That's the other reason why the Tarman probably also, because you obviously knew that the Tarman escaped, so it's possible that during that whole title sequence, the Tarman escaped and probably saw them, but probably knew too that they were eventually becoming part of the undead and that their brains were not suitable for him. So that's when he just moved on. So that's the reason why neither of those original two zombies ever attacked both of them.
Right.
And of course they had to reference Night of the Living Dead in the movie.
Yep.
Did you ever see that movie, Night of the Living Dead?
Yep. They want it to be perfectly clear that this is not they want it to be clear that it's not a direct sequel to Night of the Living Dead. They wanted it to be like a separate universe where the Night of the Living Dead was a movie in their universe.
But yet they at the beginning when the guy was telling the kid the story before he started training him, wasn't that like a reference to the first movie?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
That too, Braxton.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just one thing I noticed. Like he just waited when thinking, wait, why did he go after Bert? I'm like, oh wait, because the other two were infected already, so there was no need to go after them.
Because Ernie was dead already.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Hey, Bert.
Yeah, but
Yes.
also when James Cameron was when he agreed to star as Frank, he wanted to change like his outcome, like the way he died, because originally he was supposed to be like infected, could like transform completely into a zombie and then join the mob. But then he decided, you know what, it would be better if I just go out with the incinerator, because I mentioned earlier I would be able to operate that thing, and he ends up doing that in the end.
When you refer to it as the mob, it gave me a different picture altogether. Like the zombies are now like the mafia. And
What are all the Tommy guns?
It's the Walking Sopranos. It's
They're the Living Dead Sopranos.
Oh, man.
It's dead fellas.
I have a really deep question to ask. I don't know if it's appropriate, really, but talking about zombies, would you ever, if you had the choice, freeze your body? So you would be zombified, actually freeze your body.
No.
Well, I would probably do that just to cryogenically freeze myself, so that way I wouldn't have to face the world of undead until the possibility of them creating a cure. Then they could bring me back. Yeah, so I wouldn't have to deal with any of that mess.
And you could be like a Richard Nixon head from Futurama.
I take cryogenics.
Oh, man. Pretty much, yeah. Or just like Fry from Futurama. He just gets frozen and probably take 1,000 years, but they'll come up with a cure eventually.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hey, somebody ate my pizza.
Yeah, can you imagine that though? Like being frozen, and then like 1,000 years, they're like, "Oh, we brought you back," and you're like, "What?"
Yeah.
Just imagine
Like,
if they
and
didn't
surprise,
explain
you
anything,
have
though.
surprise, you have 3 million subscribers, and you are completely monetized because you're
What?
still around.
I missed out on the chance of getting 3 million subscribers. What the hell?
No, I would have all that money waiting for me. My bank account would
Yeah,
still
but
be
you
open.
weren't able to make more videos between that.
That's all right though.
Oh yeah, and the country is now being run by Donald Trump's great grandson.
What's he sound like?
Whose last name is ironically Biden. It's really weird.
That's right. My last name is now Biden. You figured that one out.
My name is Archibald Biden, and
Very close.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I was just thinking about real life zombification.
I missed
and,
all
like,
that because my
how
internet
that
was
would
not weird.
work.
Look
Like,
at
how
Florida.
would that work?
It happened.
Yeah, it's like if the zombie that's right, Kate. Like if the zombie virus were real, also how long would the infection set? Because it varies in different movies. Like in
Dawn
20,
sounds
like
like she's
in
from the Matrix.
yeah.
Omni
Like,
sounds
yeah.
like a pickle.
Yeah. So anyway, Kate, like how often how quickly would a zombie virus take effect in real life? Would it be like as fast as like in 28 Days Later, or would it take days like in Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah, and like how much would it still be you? Like would it just literally be the shell of you and the disease?
well, or would it be like The Walking Dead, where it's already in everybody?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it comes
You
out.
know,
Right.
Okay.
and it
Yeah.
takes
Building
until
on
you
that,
die.
could you kill a loved one that turned into a zombie?
Oh man.
Yeah,
That'd be a tough one.
And Shadowheart brought up. I was going to say yes. This movie was shot in Louisville.
Oh yeah, it takes place in Louisville too. Yes.
Yeah.
Where's Louisville?
Louisville,
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Oh.
Okay. There's one in Colorado too. So, but I assumed it was Kentucky.
Yeah, we actually have one here too, believe it or not, in central Illinois, Kate. Although the funny part is, this is one of those crazy town things where even though it has the same spelling, down there it's called Louisville. So if you call it Louisville, that's incorrect. Yeah, if you call it Louisville down there, that's incorrect to the locals that live there.
I see. So it's like Illinois and Illinois.
Well,
Oh, Shadowheart. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
you're from Kentucky.
Oh,
That's awesome, Shadowheart. Because I went to school in Kentucky at Western Kentucky University, Bowling Green.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
So-
They have really good fried chicken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were actually talking about that earlier.
The whole restaurant.
But yeah, Shadowheart's good state. I love it.
I was supposed to go down actually to Louisville, Kentucky last year, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. In fact, I was supposed to go down with Jeremy, but unfortunately I wasn't able to do so. It was literally right after. In fact, Chris, you should know, it was literally supposed to be right after I came out to Colorado last year.
Woohoo!
Supposed to be on the road again, but I couldn't.
What were you trying to get to South Park? Wanted to be the new Cartman?
No, it was for an investigation.
God damn it, you guys.
Well, there's still room
That
in
guy
my house
was so
to
attacked.
October.
That's about 90 minutes away from where he was at.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh yes.
We'll be the
He's
last
going
one.
into the background.
He's going to go into his files.
It looks so cool.
What? Watch, he disappears.
He's gone. He's
gone.
vanished. He's secretly the Invisible Man.
Right?
Nick
He's gonna
Files.
come back all zombie fight now.
He'll
Yep.
come back with a file.
That'd be cool. He should have like a big manila file. Bang.
What? Oh,
Nick
Dwayne.
Files.
Oh, that's right. Dwayne Jones. He played Ben. Wanted to. And he supposed to live, but it had changed because of the events of the time, and knew it would spark need to come. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people like it, even though one misconception about the Dwayne, the Ben character in Night of the Living Dead. The thing is, George Romero didn't intend to make the movie like about race though. Even though this was like an early example of like African American being like the hero in a horror film. But he just casted Dwayne Jones because he really liked his performance. He nailed the audition. He just decided, you know what, I love what this guy can do. Let's have him play Ben.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but I liked him in that. I also love how Tony Todd played the role in the 1990 remake. That was awesome.
Yeah.
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 I love-
I'd like in everything.
Yes.
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
I love names with alliteration. I really wish I had a name like that. Tony Todd and like just so cool.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
What are you doing, Tor?
The original Night of the Living Dead. You
Oh, okay.
tell me.
Yeah,
that it's-
glasses.
Is it very fetching in your
Well,
glasses?
He had glasses on. They're just thicker rims than I have, but this is all I had to work with.
I got rid of them. I don't even have glasses no more.
Oh, these are just reading glasses. I got them from the drugstore. So.
Well,
Cheaters.
I got these from a drugstore, but they're so dusty.
They look.
I can't show you what I got from the drugstore. So.
This same movie came out the
I
same
got
year.
a box of condoms from the drugstore.
So, yeah, should have heard. This movie came out the same year as Dave.
I can't even see out of these things now.
Same here.
Wow, you guys are all so blurry.
And let's see, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to point out in this movie is, any of you ever seen the back of Freddy's jacket? Like,
No.
yeah, he has a sports jacket, and on the back of it said "FU." Yeah, when me and my
What's that
buddies,
mean?
yeah, when,
No.
when me and my buddies saw that movie, like when we were teenagers, we saw the back of that jacket after they had hit him in the head, like inside the chapel. Yeah, he's knocked to the ground. He's face down. His the back. You see the back of his sweater that just says "FU" on the back of it. So
You guys all
Face
went out
down.
and got your own, right?
What
Yeah.
are we talking about?
yeah, like, and when me and my buddy saw that, one of my friends said, "Well, I need to get me one of those."
You being face down. Oh wait, no.
Wait, I'm lost. Here. What are we talking
The
about?
back of the movie.
I was talking about the back of Freddy's jacket,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
and also
That used to be the password to get into my golf in the beginning.
Yeah, fuck you.
Face down.
but
I think it still might work.
But they actually had two different jackets to use because they knew eventually that the movie would have to be shown on primetime TV, and obviously they wouldn't be allowed to show the back of that jacket. So they had a separate jacket for that purpose that said TV version.
Wait. Back up. They couldn't put back in 1985, so it would be say 86, 87 made it to TV. So because of TV back in 86 or 87, they couldn't put the jacket with the letters FU on it.
That with FUCKYOU on it. No, they couldn't.
No, but you're saying it said "fuck you" and
Yeah.
okay.
Did that.
Yeah, I was actually thinking it said had the two letters F and U on it.
No. Here, like when my buddy saw that, like on the back of his jacket, when we saw the movie, my friend was like, "Yeah, I need to give me one of those."
I can pull up a picture of it if you want.
Well, I guess I wasn't paying attention at that point.
Yeah,
I was looking for the TV version though.
Oh, here. Also, Ben was meant to be an illiterate at first, but glad he was. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I do admire how Dwayne Jones played the character the way he wanted to play it. So, yeah, I like that.
Jesus.
Not seeing the TV version. I only see the
TV
movie
version. Usually,
it literally the back of it literally said TV version for when they show it on TV.
That's why I was looking for it, because I thought that would be funny looking, but
yeah,
I just see the original.
Oh yeah.
No, we got Nick for that.
And also I was also wondering why was Freddy the only zombie that was foaming at the mouth?
Yeah, and his eyes were all messed up too. What the,
his eyes got messed up because Ernie splashed that acid on him.
That's right.
No, before that they were like all bloodshot too.
Oh, yeah.
He kept talking about his eyes were hurting too. I think.
Well, you gotta realize when and this is the other thing I don't understand. These containers are in the basement, and the guy it doesn't seem like he hit it that hard to crack it or pop it open or whatever, and then all of a sudden the gas comes out.
Pressurized.
That's really that all that gas had to really do something to the eyes. If you consider the irritation it did just mixing with the rain to that.
It did something to me earlier.
It had to be much worse than its gas form.
Right.
Oh man.
Braxton.
Yeah, Braxton.
That's right.
Oh man. But yeah, so and it's just the thing is, when I first saw this movie, I only watched I was channel surfing when I was like 15, and I saw like the last few minutes of the movie, and so I didn't know the whole context about Freddy transforming. I just saw heard his voice like taunting or crying, wanting her brains. Yeah.
I know you're up there because I can smell your brains.
You're someone else then.
Oh yeah. And I gotta say, the ending of this was pretty grim. Like, this is like one of those instances where no one survives. None of the main characters make it. And pretty much Bert made that possible by getting the military involved, calling the number on the side of the tank, saying, "Hey, your canister cracked open and there's zombies here." So their solution was to drop a bomb on Louisville, and they said they left about 4,000 dead, including the main characters. And of course, this led to another chemical rain, which started the whole thing all over again.
Yep. Yeah, with the skeleton coming up.
Well, of course. Back then,
you want to play?
Here we go. Here we go again.
Make sequels.
Yeah.
They had to make it.
And you don't know if everybody's dead or not because they have all kinds of ways of making people come back.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, including actors who were zombies and who all of a sudden aren't in the sequels.
Right. Now with AI, it's even easier.
It's supposed to be like metal, I think.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like metal canisters.
We'll do a Rocky Horror Picture Show, and we'll bring back Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, Tom Curry. Does that mean I got to dress up as Frankenfurter?
Oh,
I would not want to see that.
I want to see that either.
That would be a bad mental picture.
I did.
Yeah.
There's no pictures. There's no pictures, but I did do it once.
You couldn't unsee.
Oh my god.
That's October month.
Oh, so he did that for the calendar?
Yeah, that's for October. Yeah.
He was October.
Yeah, so Shadowheart, the canisters, I don't know what kind of metal they're made of, but there was like one scene that was that one bit where Frank slammed his hand on them and they released it saying, "Oh, these things were made from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers." Hits it and it leaks, and I'm thinking that seems like an insult to the military. That canisters.
Damn it, Billy beat me to it.
I think.
You would think that Bird, Casey, Spider, and Chuck would have made it. Oh yeah, because they were in the basement. So I'm not sure if it's equivalent to a bomb shelter, but I can say that. but I can say that Tina and Ernie didn't make it. I mean, that's not much obvious.
Well, I mean, for those 4 remaining characters, I think it was probably best to leave their fates ambiguous. Like, we don't know if they. Sometimes it's best to not know if they actually did make it or not.
Yeah.
You know what?
Billy,
I got to bring up. This is a scene I'm surprised you haven't talked about yet, Don. And it's actually one of my favorite scenes from the movie. It's involving the police barricade where they barricaded the entire area, and the zombies start coming through and they start firing at them. That to me was probably one of the best scenes out of the entire movie.
I was saving that part. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, you were okay.
And Billy, it's not so much of a sequel to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's another movie by Richard O'Brien, and they use the same actors. Well, not all the same actors, obviously.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 of them that came back. But
damn it, Janet!
How's it down by you and Nick? How's it down by you and Don?
Oh yeah, Don, I wanted to ask you about the weather. What's it going? Kate,
I hear a lot of loud rumbling. And
Kate, do you have any of that?
We had a really bad storm about half a day,
you were down
but
there.
it's passed over now.
Well, you see, the reason why I had to get up for a minute or two was I had to go upstairs to just grab something, but then something compelled me to look outside. And I haven't seen anything, but I did notice what I have noticed one thing. I have noticed one thing, however, when I looked outside, if there was a storm coming, because I get lightning proximity alerts on this.
Yeah, I think that they're like continuously going to be overnight. I think.
Well, scary part was when I walked up, I just noticed how completely quiet and it got very eerie outside. It just got all quiet. Just all before the storm. I mean, and I'll tell you right now, especially if it comes to severe storms, that's what scares me most of the time, because before it hits, it gets real calm outside.
Big old mustache. Oh yeah, Flesh to Flesh. I remember that in the end credits.
Nick opened the curtain and went, "There's someone on the wing. Something."
I don't know about Illinois, Nick. Wisconsin has already broken its record for yearly tornadoes.
It was 97 here today.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
So we've already broken our record for tornadoes this year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, just make sure that none of the houses spin around and land on you, Joe.
So
Nikki's sounds like hail. No, it sounds
good,
like
Nikki?
hail out there.
Yeah, Nikki's throwing her phone around.
Yeah.
At least my truck's up under the carport.
We got another tropical storm coming. 2 of them.
Really?
And another earthquake.
Oh, jeez. I've never been in one of those.
They predict them.
Do you know when it's going to be, Irene? When?
Storm, it's sitting out in the middle of the Philippine Islands. And it went through Taiwan, and it went through everywhere else. But the other one, there's the one that's going to go right through China, and the other one's going to come our way. So we're just waiting.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just Tom was just like flipping around. And I'm just like,
if I end up popping out, you know why? Power went out here.
Oh, don't be popping out. The kids don't need to see that.
Oh my god.
Is Tom up
You crazy son of a bitch.
Oh my god.
Look, I'm in Australia.
Oh, you're really making me feel stoned, man. I feel like I'm seeing shit. Tom's upside down. Oh shit.
Tom's
You'll fall on your head.
I gotta point out what
You've already got enough brain damage.
I gotta point out with what Hart said, and that's another thing too. What's so great about Return of the Living Dead is the music, and undoubtedly the theme song is great. It just adds such an adrenaline.
It does. It does.
It's rocking.
You know what? Or am I upside down?
No, you're
now you're back to normal.
Back to normal.
Don, I've never
cool.
I've never actually told anybody this, but I actually do this a lot when I go to. This sounds unrelated, but bear with me. Is that when I go to these Paracons all the time to meet up with a lot of these different investigator guests, I often actually play the Return of the Living Dead theme song to add more to the excitement of it, to add an adrenaline of my own for it. So it's so much fun when I do that. I got another one coming up this weekend, so I'll be doing the same thing.
You said up.
I liked Return of the Living Dead 3. I thought it was I liked how it would try to go like all
I like Necropolis.
Yeah, I like how it kind of went all Shakespearean, but I can't say the same for Necropolis or Rave to the Grave. I wasn't very fond of those when I saw those as a teenager on Sci-Fi.
God, I haven't seen them.
I definitely.
Okay, Nick, you got to watch Zombievers. Speaking of zombie stuff,
Zombievers.
Oh yeah.
Damn
it, Beavis.
Sounds like a porno.
It kind of does. It's like I don't know. It's below a B movie, I'd even say. But yeah, we watched it.
Yeah, Zombievers. He sent me something on that weeks ago.
We had imbibed in the same thing Joe likes to imbibe in. Let's just say that night.
What? I didn't do nothing. I'm innocent.
I know you are.
And Billy, I know that you were saying a lot of original sci-fi movies were trash because I brought up Necropolis and Rave to the Grave, but there is one original movie that I actually do love.
What's that? Oh, Dog
nice.
Soldiers.
Nice.
This is a good werewolf movie.
Yes. I like werewolf movies.
I'm more in the vampire movies.
Yeah, I like crime movies too.
Here, Nikki. I want to let you guys know that soon it's going to be. I want to let you guys know that soon it's going to be National World Crocodile Day. I think it's called. And
Crikey.
And because of that, I wanted to cover a crocodile movie that was made in Australia called Rogue.
I've seen that.
Oh,
yeah, so I wanted to set up a watch party for us to so we can cover it that day, because for me it's the best crocodile or best crocodile movie ever. Much better than Lake Placid.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Crocodile Dundee's better. Oh.
And how long ago was that one made?
That's not a knife.
There was wasn't
2007.
Wasn't Lake Placid with a crocodile?
Yes.
Can't hear you.
That was a good movie because I remember seeing that one. I've
Everyone's
seen so many movies, they all run together. I got to think about it.
Just lost Chris.
Oh.
And Nikki can't hear us.
I might leave, then I'll come back.
Okay. Yeah, she must be having. Oh, wait, here's Chris again. Now he's back.
Yeah, everything fell. I saw it starting to go. I was like, no.
You klutz.
I know. No, it started falling.
But so Rogue came out in 2007. Yeah, so Rogue came out in 2007. It stars Radha Mitchell and also Sam Worthington about 2 years before Avatar.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep. So it's got some familiar faces, and it's inspired by the true story of an actual crocodile that attacked boats.
Awesome.
Not Gustav.
No, it's not Gustav. It's not Gustav. It's Sweetheart.
Sweetheart. Okay.
Romeo and Juliet.
Wasn't Rogue?
Dude.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know 2007 was also the year when that other crocodile movie, which was really bad, called Primeval, which is based off of Gustav, wasn't it? Didn't Primeval came out first and then Rogue later on because they knew the plots were too similar to each other involving killer crocodiles?
They were similar, but Rogue was pretty different.
Was that released first or?
I'm not sure.
Excuse me.
Wait a minute. Tom.
That wasn't me. That was not me.
Sure.
I was going to say, what's going on here, Tom?
No, it was not
That
me.
was Tom. Don't let him fool you.
No, I would have.
Anyway.
Tom, I
Okay.
swear.
Okay, anyway. So, yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
cool.
really good.
Didn't one of the crocodile movies have Betty White in it, or was that?
Yeah,
That was Lake Placid.
Okay.
No, that was Golden Girls.
Estelle Getty was the crocodile.
Right.
Hey, my favorite werewolf movie, Braxton.
Don't stop her. My mom will shoot.
My favorite werewolf movie right here.
American Werewolf in London.
Yep, nothing
Oh,
beats
I
it.
like that one.
Yes, nothing beats it.
That's an old movie.
Yep, it's 40th anniversary was recent.
That
The-
pub,
81.
that pub
That's
still
actually
exists.
That's
does?
actually classified as a cult classic now.
It's,
Oh, yeah.
it's a lot nicer looking now than it used to be, but it still exists.
And
What's that?
and it's the first movie to ever win an Academy Award for best makeup effects right after that category was introduced to the Academy Awards. So it has its place in history.
That's
Well,
like one of the greatest
That was a good
transitions.
movie.
Well, and it's also, and I mentioned this on the show previously. Most people don't really know that the script is actually older than the movie itself. Believe it or not.
It was written over.
Yeah, the script is over 50 years old. As a reminder, what I said when we originally talked about was John Landis, even a decade before, already knew who Rick Baker was, and he actually gave Rick Baker the script in 1991. So they had a lot of time to figure out how they were going to make this movie, how they were going to make these realistic effects, because understandably they didn't shoot until 10 years later in 1981.
Right. That's true. Let's see. Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. Jeez. Okay. So yeah, afraid we're gonna have to wrap
it's 11 o'clock.
In your time, yes.
It is time.
No, it's
I
9
live in the
o'clock.
future.
Yeah.
It's 12 o'clock.
He's
right.
an hour in the. Wait. He's an hour in the future. Quick, what are the lottery numbers?
It's already past the time.
It is, too.
12,
Lottery.
16.
But I can tell you about Skynet.
God, tell us about Skynet. Come on.
They don't exist. It's a movie. Get over it. Come on.
My truck will talk crap about it if you ask about Skynet. It'll say Skynet would never survive, and I don't know. It's funny.
Yeah, they really create all kinds of crazy time paradoxes in Terminator as the franchise goes on.
He can do it. Come on.
That's right. That's what they do.
You can do it.
It was Skynet. Yeah, but yeah, we have to. I'm sorry, but we've got to wrap this up. But The Return of the Living Dead, one of my favorite zombie movies of all time. It's definitely worth seeing if you're a horror fan and if you love zombies. So it's like one of the most enjoyable zombie films you'll ever watch. So if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I cannot stress enough how great it is.
Classic movie. It really is. I mean,
Here's the story.
It's also
about
it's a
men
movie
in
that I always like to watch over and over again.
Probably find it for free online somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Tubi.
that's what I look up.
You can on Tubi.
Tubi.
There you
Tubi
go.
or not Tubi? That is the question. Is
Damn it. You beat me to it.
I was watching so many great movies, classics today that I found on there. I'm not done yet.
Oh yeah, they got some good stuff on there. Yeah.
If Debbie Does Dallas, Behind the Red Door.
Oh no, that's a different streaming.
That's RedTube. I mean,
yeah. Look, Chris knows. You probably find Edward Penis hands there too.
We should say one thing. Happy birthday to Nikki.
Happy birthday to the golf ball.
Yes,
we gotta sing.
Everybody say
golf ball.
Don't we gotta sing happy birthday to her now?
Happy
birthday,
birthday
golf ball.
to
Ding.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Just me? Okay.
What the hell? Like, I was going to I was not to.
Okay, on the count of three, sing.
Oh man, this is a
I
tough
don't
crowd.
think so. I don't sing.
Okay, you don't got to then, Joe. I know
never
Tom
sing.
does.
No, I don't.
Tom's singing Arnold
I
Schwarzenegger.
never.
No,
Yeah, happy
you do.
birthday to you.
Happy birthday. You can sing it in your accent or your fake voices.
That's what I'm saying. Singing Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. You can do it. Be a good neighbor.
I can't do it. I cannot.
You sing as Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll sing as Pennywise.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
That's right. It's your birthday.
Here's some
Nikki,
balloons.
Otanjo Biondejo gozaimasu.
Yeah, can you give the heart?
Thank you.
Welcome back.
You say it's your birthday. It's my birthday too. Yeah. Na 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 na.
Or should I just say it as Nicolas Cage? Like,
No.
Happy birthday.
oh man.
Nicolas Cage.
Don't
Like-
say.
All right.
Nicolas Cage is Tarman.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh God. Like happy birthday.
Yeah, but
Oh jeez, Rick.
You know what?
Hey,
I mean, it's your birthday, and you know what? I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Thank you.
I'm not good on the spot.
but hey, in all seriousness, in all seriousness, Nikki, happy birthday.
Yeah,
happy
happy
birthday,
birthday, Nikki.
Thank you, darling. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everyone.
So that'll be it for this installment of the Fear Fans podcast. Join us next time as we will cover Godzilla 2014.
It's the story of a man
I
named
want to be there.
Dom
Yep.
I wasn't there.
You're free. Hey, you're free to join us, Irene. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So.
I'm trying to take a photo.
Good
So-
afternoon.
Come on, Kate. Do it, Kate.
Let me in.
Hey, oh, we're getting a picture.
What?
Not working.
Your mute. Your mic is mute.
I'm stupid. I'm on my laptop. It's not going to work.
Do you want me to take it?
She's frozen. Oh, there.
Yes, you.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm using.
Do you want me to take the picture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Birthday.
What I'm gonna do is I got to screenshot it. So just give me 1 second here while I get this
Oh,
ready.
Print
jeez.
screen.
Yeah, I know.
Print screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Come
You
on.
guys ready?
Yep.
All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, we got it.
All right.
Okay.
I'll upload it shortly after we get off here.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so that's
right.
it for this installment of the Fear Fans podcast. Like I said, join us next time as we will be covering Godzilla 2014, and I'm excited about covering that one. So hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Have a good night.